ABC Sports presents live in its 27th season, the Professional Bowlers Tour. Today from Baltimore, Maryland, is the $140,000 Fairlanes Open. Here now is our field of five, the leading PBA money winner this year in his second consecutive championship round from Topeka, Bob Benoit. Looking for his first PBA title ever, Mike Taylor from Carlsbad, California. In third position and vying for his first PBA title since 1986, former Firestone champion Mark Williams. Seated second and gunning for his third PBA title in the last 5 weeks, the dashing Brian Voss. Leading the tournament and returning to the site of his first championship round appearance 10 years ago, looking for his first win, Gil Sliker of Sarasota. That's our field today on the Professional Bowlers Tour. You're looking at the outside of one of 107 bowling centers owned and operated by Fairlanes Incorporated. Host this week for the 19th year on the Professional Bowlers Tour. Capacity crowd again here in this friendly area of Towson, Maryland, a lovely suburb of Baltimore. I'm Chris Schenkel along with Nelson Burton Jr., and we're ready to go with our first match. In our field of five, the number 5 finisher is Bob Benoit, the leading money winner on the tour this year, and really a newcomer, Mike Taylor, 23-year-old from Carlsbad, California. Strong looking. It's a big pressure moment for him, Nelson.
You're right. His dad, Lee Taylor, a good professional himself, is proud of this young man. Good start.
All right. It's his second career appearance, actually. 87 True Value in Indianapolis. He lost in his first ever television match to Randy Harvey. Here's the man that several weeks ago thrilled everyone with a perfect 300 game, 100,000 plus a victory worth 27,000. Bob Benoit unfortunately opens with that split, the 4-7-10.
Chris, Benoit has been sporadic in his 2 appearances so far on ABC TV. As you see his profile, he creeping style, cups that ball way back on his wrist, and just accelerates through the shot, throws the big wide sweeping hook ball, which is devastating when working, but he struggled a little bit in Milwaukee, and now off to a slow start here at Baltimore.
Okay, Bob Benoit. The rest in the field here today, the winner of this first match will meet Mark Williams, former Firestone champion, and then the current PBA national champion, popular Brian Voss, and our tournament leader, Gil Sliker, who is looking for his first ever singles victory after many years of battling. Sliding by again, having a little trouble. Deep frown now on that forehead.
Chris, kind of looking at his thumb, his ball just slid off his thumb as the weather has warmed up in the East Coast, and Bob Benoit trying to stay relaxed, doesn't want that ball to slip off his hand. Setting up the championship pair, 15 and 16 here at Fairlanes, a 48-lane back-to-back center. Left lane, 15, doesn't hook quite as much as 60.
Okay. Bowler Bear. There you see him, the mascot for the vast Fairlanes chain, nearly 4,000 lanes in 18 states and Puerto Rico. What a mascot, Bill.
Yeah, that's great. And the guy sitting right next to him, just to the Bowler Bear's right, is a former ABC American Bowling Congress Masters champion, Mike Listowski. Now, Mike Taylor for a double.
And a 5'8", 160-pounder, well muscle leaves the 4-6-7.
5-step delivery. Is you can see the muscular movements of Mike Taylor, a well-conditioned young man, high backswing, rotates that wrist around the ball, and once again he has the same fate that Bob Benoit, and open on the right-hand lane.
So he covers 2 pins. And Taylor 28 through the second, and of course that open frame there, and he'll try to recover now. In the third, as Mark Williams warms up, you hear the pin fall. They do that if you're watching our live telecast for the first time. Those that have finished higher than the 2 that are bowling at the moment on the championship pair.
The grip of Mike Taylor, fingertip grip. He's got that glove for extra traction. Really puts a good snap on.
All right, So we have a 7-pin for Taylor in the left lane. We came on the air a little bit differently today as the tennis ran beyond its time allotment, so we're running behind right off the bat. And we didn't really get to set the field and the championship pair and etc. You were going to interview popular Brian Voss, but we won't let you out of any information, will we, Bo?
You're right, Chris. A great field. They haven't missed a shot. Look out. Ooh.
And Bo, while we have a chance, having been in Jacksonville at the ABC Hall of Fame, I want to welcome WJKS Channel 17 to our great family of ABC affiliates. They're a terrific operation down there.
They do a great job, and I sure enjoyed the coverage they gave us when you were inducted into the American Bowling Congress Hall of Fame.
Became a teammate of yours and your dad's.
Yes.
Ooh. And Bob Benoit is really having his problems here today on the right lane now. 4, 6, 7, 10. It's awesome.
Well, all Benoit can do with this is just try to throw the ball over in this 6-10 area and bounce a pin over into the 4-7 area.
Okay, earlier we talked to Benoit about the other 2 appearances on ABC this year.
Well, it's been kind of fun so far. First time I was on the show, I had a good time. It was the good, and the second time I had the bad, and hopefully this time won't be the ugly. I made a good charge last night. I feel real good about this week, and hopefully I'll win this week.
All right, uphill battle today, starting out as he did, and there taps out to 5, but leaves the 7 on the left lane after 2 opens.
Kind of rhyming the phrase of a Clint Eastwood movie. The good was his 300 game down at the Quaker State. The bad was last week at the Milwaukee Championships. He had a 168 game. He said he hopes to avoid the ugly, but he started off that way. Right now, 33 through 3 frames, 7-pin here in the 4th.
Bob's 5'9", 130 pounds, 33 years old. Just gets the 7-pin as Benoit's opponent leads by 15.
Of all the cars that come out each year, only one can be the Motor Trend Car of the Year. For 1988, that one is this one, the hot new Pontiac Grand Prix. Get on the Pontiac and ride, Pontiac ride! The new Grand Prix, Motor Trend's Car of the Year. You've got to drive it. Get on the Pontiac, we build excitement.
Okay, so you love your car. Whoa, you're not going inside yet. The tires, the 4 round things underneath. There you go. Now, see that armor all protected? Wipe some of that stuff on the tires and bumpers. Okay, now get in the car and do the dash and the seats. You can do this. This is not rocket science. Now, look at your car. Now go in the house and tell them how hard you worked. Go ahead. They don't know about armor all. They'll buy it.
There's some sort of problem?
Seagram's peach.
Well, it's smooth, like your skin.
Wild berries.
Luscious, like your lips.
Come with me.
See, it's Seagram's gold. It sparkles, like your eyes. Anything for world peace.
Here in Towson, Maryland, the first breakdown of $140,000 Fairlanes Open, 23, 12, 8, 6, and 5. They're bowling on the championship pair.
Chris, the oil this week is down about 46 feet, but the key is there's not much of a buildup in the center. A lot of weeks when the scores are real high, the PBA lane maintenance puts a lot of oil in the center. This week it's pretty even all the way across the lane and very slick, so we're going to see players not playing the big hook, keeping that ball speed down. And on the right-hand lane here, everybody's been high and have gotten a split so far. They have to either throw the ball a little bit harder or make a couple boards move to the left on the approach. Let's see what Taylor does.
That's his second strike in the match, that one in the 4th frame. He's a man that won some regional titles. One of them when he shot 3 perfect games in the finals, one of which was rolled in the position round with those 300s. Bo, That's hard to believe.
Not bad. 3 300s in a PBA tournament. The first time that was ever done was by all-time great Dick Weber, who rolled 3 perfect games 1964 in the Houston tournament. Duplicated by this man in a regional championship.
Well, he's starting to get grooved like he was in that original event. A double. First of this match, and Bob Benoit is behind by 25.
The nice roll of Mike Taylor. That semi-roller takes the perfect break, 45 feet down the lane, 3-pound 6 and 7 ounce pins. If there is such a thing, that was a perfect strike. The ball hit the 1, 3, 5, and 9 pins. They took out the other remaining 6. Now Benoit, 5th frame.
And Benoit won 100,000 for his perfect 300 game and 27 for the Quaker State title. And to have him in his first television appearance do that. But right here in the Fairlanes in the Baltimore area, he was an alternate in 1982, which means that at that time would have finished 6th. So on and off the tour, but what a year he is having, Bo.
You're right, Chris. That perfect game in 100,000, a ride to the Tournament of Champions, has put him back on a regular basis, and he's our top gun right now, going for a double.
15-10. Nice come from behind now, but still trailing 15, and the man can get himself right back to 25 as he shoots in the 6th frame, a double working. Mike Taylor, Carlsbad, California. And he's done it. 3-bagger. Earlier we asked him what advice his father has given him.
Well, I called him last night and told him, and he was pretty thrilled, and he just said, be myself, be relaxed, and go out and bowl. I watched the one show where Mark Roth beat him, and he looked a little nervous. You know, I'm just going to go out. Mark Baker told me just go out and go for it, man. There's nothing to lose, so that's pretty much what I'm going to do.
Okay, the advice from his dad, Lee. And, Bo, you got advice from your Hall of Fame dad along the way, too.
Just about the same thing, Chris. Bear down, work hard, and put that ball in the pocket.
Better jumping at the line, hoping that the 2-pin would topple, but it did not. Winner of this match will meet the Firestone champion of 1985, Mark Williams. Then Brian Voss can become a 3-time winner if he goes all the way today. And our tournament leader, Gil Sliker, 37 years old, who has earned over $500,000 bowling, but never a singles title. Okay, still in the lead by 24, Mike Taylor.
In every town in America, there's always one place that does a little bit better job of fixing your car. And it seems the things they all have in common are great mechanics, great service, and Napa parts.
Well, spring is here, and to make sure your car takes the change of seasons in perfect stride, stop by your Napa Auto Care Center now for our spring specials. Look for the sign of Quality Car Care, Napa.
Great. But we wanted a Bud Light.
Bud Light! If you want the great taste of Bud Light, ask for it.
Now go get pizza.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
On Wide World of Sports next, the exciting Santa Anita Derby prep for the Kentucky Derby and the hilarious Harlem Globetrotters on Wide World following us.
Always interesting to watch the Globetrotters, and the Santa Anita Raceway has always provided a good race for a filly horse, so I think some of those fillies may do well in the race. Now, Bob Benoit up, trailing by 26 pins, 8 frame.
He crossed over on that shot in the 8th frame. While we were away, running behind our time schedule, he bowled, left the 6-10, covered them, marked with a spare in the 7th. So now he will try to come back on the left lane and cover a 6-10. Back-to-back spare shots now. Same 2 pins, Bob Benoit. by 28 is Mike Taylor, Benoit's opponent, who is up now, 23 years old. Thus far this year, he's won 10,400.
Taylor really looks sharp. He was a little shaky at the start, as you see, open in the second frame. Then he had that little commercial break, like a timeout. I kind of always liked that when I was bowling in the championship round. Then he seems to really have loosened up here coming into the 8th frame. He leads by 28. He can put the real hurts on PBA top moneylender Bob Benoit if Mike Taylor can throw a strike here in the 9th.
And we have a 9-pin for the first time today. First match of our Professional Bowlers Tour telecast live from Towson, Maryland.
Watch the ball here go a little bit high. In the action, the 2-pin goes to sideboard, knocks out the 4, and almost carries out the 9. This is a split we may see a little bit today because of the tight lane conditions. Not much hook. You don't get that pin action in the back. And see the 2-pin leave? There's the 4-9 standing. The 4 goes out, an easy spare of the 9-pin.
160 professionals started earlier in the week as Benoit wipes off his gleaming bowling ball.
Bob Benoit, 119 through 7 frames, spare up in the 8th, has a possible 199. Has to get his act together right now.
And here's the man at the Forum Bowl in Grand Prairie, Texas, with that perfect game, leaving the 2-4 on the right lane as we replay the hit.
Trying to adjust for the high hit on the right lane. Benoit sends the ball extremely wide, almost leaves just the 2-pin. The 4 stands. An easy spare here, and he would strike out. He would have 187. I don't think that's going to be enough against Mike Taylor.
And there is his wife, Susan.
Interesting job, Chris. She is an IRS agent, and this is the time of the year that she should be home. April 15th coming up.
She asked me a few questions about you, Bo.
Yeah, well, I know somebody else that I can bring into that. All right, Benoit, possible okay. 187. Still has a chance.
Bob Benoit, 33 years old, a man that cups that bowling ball.
The contemporary style. Director Jim Jeanette bringing it. See the ball leaning back in the palm of the hand, almost like he has his no thumb in the ball. We see a lot of players out on the tour with that tremendous wrist action like that, and that's really the best way to get all the power, except it's very, very tough on the wrist and the tendons. Bob Benoit going at a 177 pace, possible 187.
Benoit, who with that perfect game in Grand Prairie, had Phil Petralia and Earl Swift and all of us marveling at his first TV appearance, because in the field he bowled against Brian Voss. Wonder he actually didn't bowl against all of them because he was the tournament leader, but Wunderlich, Joe Berardi, and Mark Roth. Mark shot at 255 in that final game to Bob's 300.
Bob just trying to get all he can get. 187, he'd put a little pressure on Taylor, not much. 185. Now what Mike Taylor has to do is get 4 pins on the first ball. He's guaranteed a tie. Kind of facetiously, Bob Benoit holding up that hey, everything's okay sign, but if this man gets more than 5 pins, he'll go on to meet Mark Williams. Yeah, there's a winner right there. Mike Taylor wins his first match.
Oh, he wins the first match. A 22-year-old from Carlsbad, California, looking for his first professional national victory. He'll meet Mark Williams next. The Professional Bowlers Tour is brought to you by Seagram's Coolers. This is where the fun starts. By Tandy Computers, there is no better value. And by Bic. Feel the Bic difference. Bic shavers for regular or sensitive skin. We'll be back after this message and a word from our local station.
In 1895, Dave Lennox invented the modern home furnace and changed forever the face of America's comfort. 93 years later, Lennox still leads the way. We've grown some, and we keep homes cool now as well as warm. But there's still a little bit of Dave in every Lennox employee. A stubborn, old-fashioned commitment to value, workmanship, quality you can depend on.
Attaboy, Dave.
Lennox Heating and Air Conditioning. Quality proven over time.
It's more effective than the leading men's deodorant. It's been proven better in clinical tests at blocking odor. It's Old Spice Fast Track Wide Deodorant. It blocks odor better.
Dodge Ram 100, 8853. The best full-size pickup buy in America. Now with $1,000 cash back. When it's gotta be right, it's gotta be a Dodge.
This man kills for pleasure. The original. Sean Connery from Russia with Love, Sunday.
America, we're counting on you. Walk, America, we know you'll come through. We need more people like you to walk America.
Join the March of Dimes, Walk America, and help prevent birth defects.
A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
Hardy.
Goodbye, old paint.
Uh-oh, better get Mako.
Mako, state-of-the-art auto painting and body repair. High-tech, low prices keep Mako on top.
If you're saying uh-oh, better get Mako.
TV 27 Harrisburg with translators at the following locations.
All right, back again at Fairlanes in Towson, Maryland. Our first game is completed. Mike Taylor left a 3 and missed it. Shot a 206 with 6 strikes, defeating Bob Benoit, who shot 185. So he now will meet the 1985 Firestone champion, Mark Williams. On our next 3 stops here on our winter tour, next week, Atlantic City in the big $500,000 United States Open.
Hartford Open, followed by the third jewel in bowling's Triple Crown, the Firestone Tournament of Champions. And Chris, then we come out of a spring tour that's one of the tournaments is sponsored by Fairlanes in Phoenix, then on to Fresno and into Las Vegas, all on ABC. Now, Mark Williams, who finished third, going against a young man who in his first appearance on ABC has won his first game. He looks really sharp, Mike Taylor.
206 with 6 strikes. All of 23 years of age. That's the greeting that Mark Williams, who was 3rd at the Showboat this year, 4th at the King Louis, a real stylist. This is his 13th television appearance, 3rd of 1988.
Just one of the really, really nice, pleasant gentlemen out here on the Professional Bowlers Tour. Mark Williams, who finished 2nd here in 1985, losing 196 to 150 to Wayne Webb.
Mark Williams of Beaumont, Texas, who travels an unusual young lady on the tour. I'll tell you about that after replaying his stroke.
Here's a man who has really worked on his pro game. He cups his wrist similar to Bob Benoit, but not quite as much, then releases it down nice and smooth. See those fingers coming straight up towards the ceiling? The top players do not turn their hand around the ball. They lift through the ball. And revolutions are the name of the game.
The young lady he travels is a 3-year-old Pekingese dog named Pixie. And she wouldn't like that either. That is a 2-8, sleeper 8 on the left lane.
1985, we said that Mark Williams finished 2nd here on that particular lane. Lane 15 here at Fairlanes. He left the 2-4-8-10 and converted it the only time on ABC. See, it was already standing there, and there goes out the 4 and the 10. He converted the 2-4-8-10 on that lane, so the characteristic of the lanes has not changed much, and that should be in Mark Williams' favor.
Okay. mark is fair in the second. The winner of this, our second match, will meet Brian Voss, a two-time winner already this year. Cover boy, the poster boy. And this is a young man that could be very California in looks, isn't he?
Very much so, and just such a powerful build. And he's spent a lot of time working that construction job.
Well, he built a nice foundation on this game. He has a double, 2 strikes, first 2 frames.
Here he comes in light. The ball hits the 1-3, saws out the 5. He taps out the 7. Look at the 6-pin. How about that? Tomahawks that 10. Chris, he's got a strike, he's got a double, and he's out to a 10-pin lead.
Oh, well, we could use him on your farm and my farm, making hay. Well, I tell you, he could make those bales fly.
That's for sure. A lot of strength in that young man. He says it was very important to his bowling. He took a job in a construction company, worked with tile, brick, concrete blocks, and built all that strength and improved his bowling.
That is hard work. Takes a lot of skill to string 3 here under all this pressure in his second match. Won the first game 206 to Bob Benoit's 185. Mike Taylor, remember that name. Spare up in the second, shooting in the third. To Mark Williams of Beaumont, Texas. Second strike and 3 frames. We asked him how he spends his spare time.
I took up golf as a hobby 2 years ago. I fell in love with it. I use it for exercise, too. I'll get up in the mornings when I'm home, go out and try to walk 18 holes if the weather permits, and have a nice lunch, and then go bowl for 2 or 3 hours.
Well, sounds like an enjoyable day.
Enjoyable job, that's for sure. Bowling's his occupation, his living, and he does it awfully well. When this man's hot, he's one of the hottest players on the tour. Remember him winning back-to-back the Hartford Open and the Firestone Tournament champions a couple years ago. Going for a double.
And now in a very close second match. 10 pins. The lead by Taylor. We'll be back.
Why do they call it heartburn? When it's me, your stomach, that's hurting. When antacids don't stop the pain from coming back, it could be an ulcer. It's okay, because there are treatment programs to help heal ulcers. If you think you have an ulcer, go see your doctor and ask about the available treatment programs. Sponsored by SmithKline & French, the ulcer experts. You could make your stomach very happy.
Today, thousands of men share a common desire to be more fit, but many of them also share a common problem. Sensitive skin irritated by shaving. That's why there's AFTA, the rich, good-smelling lotion, clinically proven to soothe razor-scraped sensitive skin so it looks and feels more fit. Use AFTA before you run off to face the world. Sensible care for sensitive skin. AFTA Aftershave Skin Conditioner.
I'm Menon.
Kentucky Derby hopefuls saddle up at the Santa Anita Derby live. Plus the Harlem Globetrotters on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Next.
A whopping leading money winner Bob Benoit eliminated in the first match by Mike Taylor. Brian Voss is up next to meet the winner of this, and look at, he can go over the 100,000 a day.
A lot of money on the PBA Tour. The average first place prize closing in on 40,000. Plus, there's a lot of bonuses that actually aren't shown in the prize fund. And, of course, next week, bowling's second jewel of the Triple Crown, the U.S. Open, 100,000 first. As you look at the grip of Mike Taylor, semi-fingertip grip, rips that holes out. He has 3 in a row.
4-bagger. 8 more. This crowd in Baltimore area, they love this sport.
The action of the head pin drives to the sideboard. That's why you need spin and speed on the ball. Fiberglass sideboards there deflect the pin back into play, taking out the 4, 5, and 7 as Mike Taylor, as you mentioned, Chris, a obviously well-conditioned athlete, bowled tremendous in the last 2 games last night. He came back with 278 in the 41st game of this tournament, and in the final game shot another real big game to get in the top 5.
Crossing over and leaving the 610, but full house here really appreciates what Mike did in opening with 3 after winning the first game over Bob Benoit 206 to 185.
18 games of qualifying. He qualified 16th, then jumped to 6th, 6th, 4th, and now he has a potential of finishing 3rd or better if he can win this match.
Interesting to watch. Takes not a lot of time, makes up his mind, and then pulls the trigger. Mark Williams, in his 4 victories in Waukegan, Windsor Locks, and Akron, the Firestone, and the Budweiser Tournament Players Championship, trying for his 5th title today. And now Mark Williams has a 3-bagger working for him. He has cut Taylor's lead to 8 pins.
Watch the arm swing of Mark Williams. He used to have a tremendous bump at the top of the swing. Here he has a push away on his 2nd step of a 5-step lower. Now he brings the ball inside. And at this point here where he's bending his elbow, he used to bend that arm out and around. And he credits John Jowdy with a lot of coaching. Plays that 2nd arrow, then you can see that sharp raking hook. What a wonderful shot that is. And his ball looks so pretty going down the lane. When he gets striking, he can knock him down. He can take the lead with one more right here, 6th frame.
By 2. Winner of this game will meet Brian Voss.
What a dandy touch Mark Williams had on that shot. The left-hand lane a little bit slicker. The ball doesn't break as much. You saw him come to the foul line, just hesitate momentarily, let that arm swing catch up with the body, let the ball slow down a little bit. He's solid in the pocket. Now let's see what Taylor does. Trails by 2.
Perhaps he'll start another string after doing 4, a spare, and now a strike in the 6th. A seesaw battle.
Mike Taylor knows how to win. He has won 9 regional titles, 3 each year. Now, for the people that don't watch the tour all the time, the PBA is broken down into 7 national regions. Mike being out there in the Western region, headed up by Ted Hoffman. You have to qualify for the Pro Tour by cashing in 4 of those tournaments, and he's making the most of it right now. He can retake the lead. Come
on a roll here in his 2nd match, Mike Taylor. Leading by 8. We'll be back with more.
This year, thousands of people who thought they bought a house paint that would last, and last, and last, will discover what they really got for their money. The wrong paint. Make sure you get the right paint. Durable Glidden Spread House Paint. A paint that really lasts. On sale now for a low price that won't. Glidden, your paint should be this good.
Well, let me get this straight.
You get 3 wishes.
Okay. Put me on a tropical island. Now, how about a beautiful island woman?
Your 3rd wish?
You've done plenty, my man. Make yourself the best Seagram's cooler ever. I'm dreaming. Don't wake me.
New Seagram's Island Tropics.
Next Saturday on ABC Sports, the tournament with the richest first prize in PBA history. The $500,000 Seagram's Coolers U.S. Open on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
You're looking at the current PBA national champion, Brian Voss. Brian will meet the winner of the match underway now. Nice smooth style, doesn't he?
He's doing it as well as anybody on the Professional Bowlers Tour. With a victory today, he'd have a chance to win 3 out of the last 5 tournaments.
And here's Mark Williams, who has a 4-bagger, can regain the lead, as he did a little while ago, by 2 pins with a strike on the right lane. 5 in a row. Open with a strike, Mark with a spare, strikes ever since. So it'll go to the left side now and bowl in the 8th frame of our 2nd game, leading by 2.
This is as good a touch as I've seen Mark Williams have in 2 years when he won back-to-back tournaments, including the Firestone Tournament of Champions. He's playing about the same line on both pairs as you see the way Mark got to the finals, always in the tournament. First 18 games, he qualified 10th. That's after 3 rounds, and he moved immediately to 5th, then 5th Friday morning, and then jumped up to 3rd place Friday night in the last 8 games of a 42-game qualifier. But Chris, he's using a little less speed on this left lane, a little more speed on the right lane, and playing the same position on both lanes. Tough shot, but when you're sharp, you can do it. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah.
A 3 strike, going out now to a 12-pin lead. But remember, Mike Taylor won the first match as a double-up, shooting in the 8th. Can cut that lead to 2.
This is a key frame for Mike Taylor. He's been pushed hard in the match. He must strike here to stay within 2 pins of Mark Williams.
A wry smile on his face, wearing all his jewelry on his non-bowling hand.
Unconscious competence as Mike Taylor crosses over the 3-pin, goes to sideboard, knocks out the 6-10. A tremendous break here in the 8th frame to stay within 2 pins of Mark Williams in the seesaw battle. Back and forth, he can retake the lead. 9th frame.
All right. Look at that face. His followers will say he was robbed. 10-10.
Taylor opts for a lower surface friction ball for his cross lane spares on the right side. Converts his 10-pin heel trail by just 3 pins.
Almost fell over the foul line. Sort of stuck at the line, but his youth, his great agility kept him from doing it.
Good point, Chris. The conditioning for the professional bowlers is a little bit different than it may be for your league player who is really doing it just for entertainment. A little bit like me.
What's that?
All right, you see him slip, and there's good leg strength, good balance, good concentration. He stays on line. Now, Mark Williams, 9th frame. Wow.
Boy, Mark Williams now is getting Brian Voss's attention off to the right, who stopped his practicing just to look at this man that has strung 7 in a row.
And right now he has a potential 280 game, which would be the 2nd highest game bowled in the championship round this year, 1988. And with this strike, he could shut out Mike Taylor. He would at least be in the 250s, as you see that tape over the index finger of the guide finger of Mark Williams. This one will lock up the match. It's not over.
Wobbly 7.
Mark Williams for the winning shot sends it wide. He rips that 5 out, but it doesn't get over to the 4-7 zone. You see that pin kind of delayed there in the center of the lane. Now Mark knows this is lockjaws if it falls over. But what he has to do now is make this spare and get 9 pins. It would be a winner.
And the loser of this match will win $6,000. Bob Benoit, who lost to Taylor in the first, will receive a check for 5. And 23 will go to the winner. On our Old Spice Tip of the Week with Nelson Byrne Jr. today, we have an interesting demonstration of how to develop young bowlers. Really worthwhile for you young folks, and in our audience, we have a lot of them, Bo.
You're right, Chris. Now, 9 pins is necessary for Mark Williams to lock up the match. 8, there's a possible tie. 7, he could lose. That's a winner.
259 for Beaumont, Texas professional Mark Williams, who will meet the great Brian Voss next. Today's Old Spice Tip of the Week is brought to you by Old Spice, the clean, classic scent men love.
Today's bowling tip of the week is for the youth bowler. Our sport has made all sorts of accommodations for anybody who wants to play the sport. The senior citizen, the men, the women, the pros. And now we've come up with a real nice idea to get the little people started. It's called bumper bowling, and it's perfect for the youth player. Jennifer, my assistant, will show you how to do it. Getting her hand neatly in the ball. That a girl. Now throw one down there for me, Jennifer. What the manufacturers have done is put bumpers, or little inflatable tubes, in the channels to help keep the ball in the lane. It makes it much more enjoyable for the little player to play. As you can see, Jennifer got pretty good results with the help of the bumpers. Nice job, Jennifer. You're going to be a real good bowler. That's how it works. Bumper bowling.
What kind of man whistled the Old Spice tune?
He's my daddy.
My practically perfect husband.
You can count on him.
He's the captain of my ship.
He's a friend.
The Old Spice man, a man's man.
Clean, refreshing Old Spice. It's the favorite scent of the American man, and he'll never change his tune.
And I love him for it.
Old Spice.
Now let Bo help you score even more. You'll also fix problems, improve strategy, and practice smarter with Bo Burton's new bowling video.
This video is for you.
ABC Sports and Old Spice bring you Bo Burton's new instructional video, Score More. Just $24.98 plus $3 shipping. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
Check with your local proprietor for the availability of bumper gutters. A wonderful way for the young people to enjoy our sport.
What a big second game we had here live in Towson, Maryland. 259 with 9 strikes. Mark Williams and Mike Taylor shot a 246 and lost with 8 strikes. So it's Williams now going against 29-year-old cover boy Brian Voss. 2 victories this year. Second on the money parade as we started here earlier this week with 160 professionals.
Chris, the average game 198, the lowest of the year, and it kind of relates to that oil pattern we saw, very competitive, and you see some of the other finishers. National champion Randy Peterson, Sam Macarone, Wayne Webb, Scott Devers struggling a little bit the other night. Valerio up there. Steve Martin coming back. Jimmy Pritz, Steve Jarlson, Newhour tied for 13th and 14th. New Orleans champ Roger Bacher. Todd Thompson's been in the championship round. My old doubles partner, Soupy, up there. Magic Gray, what a name. James Johnson, Chris Warren, Frank Edwards, veteran Gary Dickerson, Chuck McGavro, and Randy Lightfoot round out the top 24. Palmer Fahlgren, 26, $1,240.
Okay, Mark Williams of Beaumont, Texas against Tacoma, Washington's Brian Voss. It'll be a wonderful head-to-head match coming up.
Strength, pride, tradition. For centuries, the Clydesdale has been known as a special breed. Today, the Clydesdales symbolize Budweiser's dedication to quality, superior ingredients, exclusive beechwood aging, and a distinctively clean, crisp taste that only Budweiser can offer. Quality taste. Because this Bud's for you.
When it's time to sell your home, you want action.
And that's what you get with the Century 21 Action Warranty.
My personal promise of service, in writing.
The Century 21 Action Warranty. One more reason to come with us.
For complete details, call a participating office.
Come with us. Put your trust in #1, Century 21.
There's a level of performance that separates the good from the great. That's why Carmen Salvino designed the Ebonite Thunderbolt. The exclusive power core increases gyroscopic action for a sharper hook on heavy oil. And the Thunderbolt rolls farther before hooking, so it hits harder for less deflection and more striking power. The difference between good and great is the power of the Thunderbolt.
Savages? Nah, just guys with skin a little irritated from shaving. That's why there's new Aqua Velva skin conditioning aftershave.
Hey, that's a different kind of Aqua Velva.
Right. It's a rich, creamy lotion for irritated skin. Guys prefer its soothing formula and great fragrance over the leading brand.
You savage.
New Aqua Velva skin conditioning aftershave soothes the savage skin.
One more reason. There's something about today's Aqua Velva man.
Okay, we're back again at one of the 107 Fairlanes Incorporated bowling establishments in Towson, Maryland. Brian Voss walking away, and on the right in red, Mark Williams, who shot a big 259 to Mike Taylor's 246 to get to the semifinal. They've just finished their practice shots. Their handshake now. Applause from the crowd here on the Professional Bowlers Tour. And game number 3 will get underway. Here's a man with 9 strikes in his last match. Really grooved. There you see the final score. Winning by 13.
I look over to Chris Schenkel. You don't very often see a player come out as cool as Mark Williams has, just rolling the strikes down there just like with shadow balls before we went on the air. Bob Benoit stopped by and said, you know, the lanes are in beautiful shape. They should score very well, except the heat could be a factor. The ball slips off your hand. It's quite warm here in the Baltimore area. Now, the second leading money winner on the tour, going for 3 victories in 5 weeks.
That's a strike on a questionable, in Brian's mind, I'm sure, a pocket hit, but here's a profile replay.
By the book, 4-step delivery, extended push away, shoulder high arm swing. That wrist isn't cocked like the big boys there. He's nice and flat like we teach. You see that hand rotating counterclockwise around the ball. You even see a little oil by his index fingers. He puts in his finger around that semi-fingertip grip, uses that index finger to guide the ball to the target. Good arm swing. He's got it all.
And that was a much more solid strike. Woo! That was a Voss strike on the left lane. Now, here is Mark Williams. Good preparation. Great size, 6'1", 190 pounds. Another shaky 7.
Now Mark Williams sends the ball wide and uses that power usually to overpower the pins. The ball comes in a little bit light. Watch the action of the 5 pins. It goes over to the 7. The 6 barely takes out the 10 over here in the right-hand corner. Hits light, drives the 5 over. Doesn't quite get to the 7. Look at the 6 putting the love tap on the 10. Avoids the 7-10 split. An easy spare. He would be trailing after just 2 frames by 10 pins. Watch how he straightens his shot out. He doesn't hold that wrist cocked on these spare shots. A good lesson to be learned here. Straightens it straight out. Not much hook at all.
So for Mark Williams, a strike and a spare, a double for his opponent, Voss. The winner of this game will meet Gil Sliker for the Fairlanes Open title. Third frame, semifinal head-to-head match. Ah, yes. It's like one of the 9 in his previous game, which he won by 13. So now Brian Voss, opening with a double, shooting in the 3rd frame. A man who plans to purchase a home in Maui.
Is that like in Hawaii area?
That's like in Hawaii.
Big money, good-looking bachelor, and really a nice guy. He has it all in perspective. This 29-year-old champion looking to take a 20-pin lead.
Then there was this. 4, 6, 7.
The late, great Billy Whaley once said, trust is a must or your game is a bust. And Brian Voss did not send that ball wide on lane 16. Cuts right through the middle and leaves the 4, 6, 7 split. He'll just go for the 4, 7 to maintain pin count.
Brian Voss, who in the month of March here in 1988 won $83,300 with 2 victories, including the national championship.
Voss using a little extra speed on the left-hand lane, and it doesn't hook quite as much as the right-hand lane. It pays a little bit of a penalty. It's not an unmakeable split, but what Brian has to do is get that ball between the 4 and 5 pins straight down and through and separate those pins. This is not a type of split that you want to slide it over, but it's very makeable. He's counting off the boards to the right of where he wants to play the target. That's a good, smart move. He'll go right between the 2nd and 3rd arrows. He needs this to remain behind in arrears by 5 pins.
Oh. Back-to-back open frames to the PBA National Champion trails by 16. Johnny Unitas once owned this establishment, the Baltimore Colts then.
Excuse me, are you the Milton Pitts?
You found him.
Terrific. You're called Washington's official barber because you shave everyone from senators to cabinet members.
Just take a look at that wall, son.
Milton, what do you shave these powerful men with, huh?
A Bic shaver.
Bic? Not your barber's razor?
That's history. Bic is the best darn shaver I've ever used.
Okay, now who's that getting shaved with Bic?
Just look for the best shaved senator on the next debate.
The Bic shaver. If it's good enough for Milton, it's good enough for you.
In every town in America, there's always one place that does a little bit better job of fixing your car. And it seems the things they all have in common are great mechanics, great service, and Napa parts.
Well, spring is here, and to make sure your car takes the change of seasons in perfect stride, stop by your Napa Auto Care Center now for our spring specials. Look for the sign of Quality Car Care, Napa.
Tomorrow on ABC Sports, the final battle for the $75,000 first place prize in the men's Chicago Volvo tennis tournament. Then IndyCar drivers start their season on the world's fastest one-mile oval. Roberto Guerrero returns from injury to defend his title as champion of the Checker 200. All live tomorrow on ABC Sports.
Indy-type car racing. Won't belong to the Indianapolis 500. This is a prelude. Like the Santa Anita Derby following us is a prelude to the Kentucky Derby.
Mark Williams, fourth frame, leads by 16, strikeout, can extend to 26.
He just joined us. He had 9 strikes in the previous match, 259 to Mike Taylor's 246. Replay.
Watch this. This is what a player like Williams, if he can carry this hit, he's almost unstoppable. The 2-pin goes to sideboard, gets between the 4 and 7 pins, takes out the 4-pin, avoids the split, and most importantly, keeps the string going. Now has a 26-pin lead, 2 strikes in a row, can extend over the very dangerous Brian Voss to 36 with a 3rd strike, 5th frame.
He left a 10-pin here in the Baltimore area, Towson. And we're delighted that Channel 13, our ABC affiliate here in Baltimore, carrying our telecast, as is Channel 7 in Washington, D.C. Mark Williams now can take a rest when Brian Voss gets up. Professional bowlers. Look at that. That's $500,000, Bo. Seagram's Coolers Open, 100 to the winner.
The second jewel in bowling's Triple Crown, plus a 3-year exemption for the winner of that tournament to the Firestone Tournament of Champions. Here's a man who will be gunning for it, but he's got a lot of work ahead of him today. He trails by 25 pins, 5th frame.
Gets it. Mordecai and Joe Kelly hosting next week at the Showboat Lanes in Atlantic City.
A hit that Frank Esposito made famous. They call this the Jersey Squasher. The ball hits in here and just pushes all these pins down over on the right-hand part of the lane. It's really not strong enough to cross over for a Brooklyn shot. He just mushes them over. Kind of get a good break like that. Right part of the country.
Now he can cut it, the lead by Williams to 15 with a strike here.
Gotcha. I'll tell you, when you have it going for you, watch the action of the 6-pin. It's going to lay down over here in the channel and pop up and take left half the 10 out. There it goes. Now, normally that's a weak 10. The ball's, look at it, catches the base of the 10-pin. Boom, he stays in the match. He only trails by 15. Williams up now, 6th frame.
Spare working. Didn't look as though he's going to come up into the pocket. What a beautiful break on it at the end.
Not much to say about how sharp Mark Williams has been so far today. You look at every shot he's had. He left the 7-pin in the 2nd frame on a light hit, threw a double in the 3rd and 4th frames, just speeded the ball up slightly here on the left-hand lane. The 5th left the soft 10. back in the pocket here on the 6th frame with a strike. Leads by 15.
And the winner of the semifinal head-to-head match will meet the tournament leader, Gil Sliker, now bowling out of Sarasota, Florida, originally from Washington, New Jersey. From Tacoma, Washington, Brian Voss. From Beaumont Woods. 4-pin, left lane.
Well, we saw Mark Williams trip out that 4-pin in the 4th frame, but he didn't do it here as his ball drifts high. The 2-pin refused to take it out. Kept it in play. All 7 balls in the pocket, going at a 209 pace. Brian Voss, 194. It's still a close match.
Okay. Interesting head-to-head match here in the semifinal. 15 pins separating the two.
When Radio Shack put their $849 computer on sale for only $599, I just had to have it because it runs the same IBM PC software I use at the office. I got this complete system, including color monitor, for only $899. And it came with 7 programs in one, like word processing, budgeting. My wife uses it to run her catering business.
Homework, Dad.
They use it so much, I'm thinking of getting my own.
Save $250 on a Tandy 1000 SX, only $599 with software. Complete system only $899 at Radio Shack.
The mid-size Dodge Dakota S. At $6,875, it's less than a compact Ranger S, plus $500 cash back to save even more. When it's gotta be right, it's gotta be a Dodge.
Is the place.
These snap-cut pruning shears are just $4.66, and this vinyl-coated folding fence is $1.88. When I'm having one of those I don't know what to do next days, let me tell you, Ace is a place for me.
Next Saturday on ABC Sports, the tournament with the richest first prize in PBA history, the $500,000 Seagram's Coolers U.S. Open on ABC's Pro Bowlers Tour.
This man led the last 4 rounds. Coming into the finals today, Gil Sliker, Sarasota, Florida. 37 years old, still seeking his first singles title.
Looks determined, Chris. He is once again in that position to challenge for his first title, but he's got one of 2 tough customers going against Brian Voss or Mark Williams. Now, Voss, through 6 frames, trails by 15 pins, has 2 strikes working, can cut the lead of Williams down to 5 pins with another strike right here.
All right. 3rd seed. We had a chance to ask him earlier why he decided to bowl this week.
Well, I've always liked to take a week off prior to some big tournaments. It's important to be relaxed and have a good, clear mind before those tournaments. But at the same time, there's a lot of players that didn't come here, so I thought it would be an advantage. It turned out to be a good choice. And I did have a few days off before this week. I went to Florida for 3 days, got a little sun, so I'm ready for today.
What a bachelor.
Great lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
Now, he can take the lead with a strike here, 8th frame.
4-pin on the left lane.
Boy, a real aggressive shot. He knew what the score was. He wasn't going to send it out wide there and leave another 4-5 split like he left in the 4th frame. That's so far the difference in the match. Voss, with that experienced style of his, takes that semi-fingertip grip and muscled that ball down there. He didn't get the break on the 4-pin. He trails by 6. Look out. He hit his ankle. He hit his ankle, Chris.
That could be... what a turning point.
You know what? That is really one of the signs that you're bowling very well. I remember the great Don Johnson, as you see the left ankle of Brian Voss, he's not even rubbing it. When your arm swing is near perfect or perfect on the Professional Bowlers Tour, you can't even see daylight between your left ankle and the ball. That time he just got a little out of sync, hit his left ankle, and right now it's been a major change in the match as Williams has a commanding 18-pin lead, 8th frame.
And jumps on it with a strike right there.
There's no pity in the face of Mark Williams.
No.
For Brian Voss, a lot of money at stake. Shot at the championship. The loser of this match will take home a nice paycheck. $23,000 first to the winner.
And who said this wasn't a contact sport? Hit by the bowling ball on the ankle. Voss. This is Williams.
Williams, a commanding lead. Can't lock up the match, but this would be a big frame towards it.
Okay, there's the double. And the lead goes to 28. Those open frames will destroy you.
All right, watch the left ankle of Brian Voss. See, right here, he pivots a step. Now watch the ball. You see his left foot sliding. Boom, he hits right on the top of his left ankle. Deflects the ball away from the intended trajectory, slides by the 4-pin. Now, let's see if he can come back. It's hard to come back after a shot like that. Let's see what he does.
Left a 4-pin, which he was trying to cover when he hit his ankle.
That's it. You know, that's, I guess, comparable to shanking a golf ball, Chris. You just become apprehensive of your swing, apprehensive of what's happening after one of those two things happen. And right now, Voss in real trouble.
And I've always been told in shanking, it's so close to a perfect shot or perfect swing that it's ridiculous, but you still shank.
Yeah, Harry Golden once told me that, but after he shanked 5 times in a row, I told him he was wrong.
Brian Voss, strike in the 10th. Harry Golden, our tournament director, as he has been for all these years. What a guy.
Voss, an outside chance to win this match. He must strike on this ball, and then disaster would have to hit Williams. If Voss doesn't strike, it's going to be Williams and Sliker. Williams and Sliker for the championship as Voss drifts high and leaves a 6-7-10 split.
So for Brian Voss, it will be a check for $8,000, which will put him over the $100,000 mark for 1988, and it's early April. He is hot, and I don't blame him. Self-inflicted nicking of the left ankle on a shot, causing him to miss a 4-pin, and he shoots a 190.
For Mark Williams, a potential 239 to go along with the 259 he had the first game, and he will advance to bowl against non-singles winner Gil Sliker in the final.
Okay, Williams against Sliker. The Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after this message and a word from our local station.
When you buy a new lawnmower, you want to believe that each one will be the last you'll ever have to buy. But in time, it becomes painfully clear that not all lawnmowers are engineered to last. Knowing this, why would you settle for anything less than a Honda? Year after year, the right tool for mowing the lawn.
I didn't know who to trust, especially with a foreign car.
Midas has the right muffler for almost every foreign car and guarantees them for as long as you own that car. No appointment needed.
So I went to #1.
Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Fixing this water damage will cost $1,200. Could I have prevented it?
You could. Thompson's Water Seal protects wood, brick, and concrete with its special waterproofing formula. Thompson's Water Seal, a great defense against repair expense.
When I think of Oscar night, I think of going to my closet and finding nothing to wear.
Monday, the 60th Annual Academy Awards, live.
Simplicity would like to take you for a quick spin. The maneuverable new Sunrunner, the first front-cut rear-steer riding mower priced for the homeowner. Now at your Simplicity dealer.
Bowlers everywhere know the place to go for bowling equipment is Bowler's Supply. But did you know that Bowler's Supply has quite a selection of billiard tables and supplies, or that they can make any billiard table or top in the color and style of your choice? If not, stop in and see for yourself. And bowlers, be sure to ask about today's most popular balls on the tour, including Brunswick Rhino, Columbia U-Dot, AMF Angles, and the new urethane hammers. All can be expertly fitted and drilled to your size. So for selection and service, visit Bowler's Supply, 401 Carlisle Avenue, York.
Watch Jim Morris on 27 News at 6.
Hi, I'm Frank Gifford coming to you today from Churchill Downs. And today on ABC's Wide World of Sports,
The road to the Kentucky Derby continues, with a crucial test for top 3-year-olds in the West, the Santa Anita Derby. And the Harlem Globetrotters take their hilarious act on the road once again, this time to the divided city of Berlin. We'll be right back after the final game of bowling. Now back to you, Chris.
Mark Williams of Beaumont, Texas, has won his second match. By virtue of that, thank you very much, Frank, for sending it to us. And with Williams 7 strikes, 228 to Voss's 190, he goes against the tournament leader, 37-year-old Gil Sliker. So it's time now on our telecast to get an answer to an Ask Bo question.
Today's Ask Bo question comes from Bob Benoit of Eagan, Minnesota, and it goes like this. Dear Bo, has bowling ever been an Olympic sport? The answer, Bob, is yes. It was an exhibition sport in 1936 in Germany, and once again this year will be an exhibition sport in Seoul, Korea. Then in 1992, it'll be upgraded to a demonstration sport in Barcelona, Spain. If you have an Ask Bo question, write me at Ask Bo, Post Office Box 217, Ansonia Station, New York, New York, 10023. Chris, and here's a little memento honoring you. It's a Leroy Newman seriograph honoring you at the Hall of Fame, and you'll see some of the great players on the picture. You see Earl Anthony right here, Don Carter, you see Andy Verapapa, and up in the left-hand corner, Chris Schenkel, Nelson Burton Jr. Congratulations, it's a great honor. Leroy Newman did you right.
Ah, thank you. Wally Hall, CEO of Fairlanes, made the presentation. What an effective group of people in this, the largest bowling organization in the world.
And they will have a tournament in Phoenix, Arizona on ABC Professional Bowlers Spring Tour opening May 21st. Now, Mark Williams championship game.
Leaving a 10-pin. Looked like the 6 might knock it out, but didn't. This is for $23,000 to the winner, 12 to the runner-up.
You see Mark Williams wiping the oil or conditioner off his ball, picking up a shiny ball, low surface friction to convert that 10-pin, making sure to keep that right arm tucked to the body. Doesn't want that swing to get wild.
Now, here's a man that made his very first championship round appearance at this center in 1978, where he finished 4th. He's had 7 seconds, another one in the Masters.
Never won a singles tournament. This could be his last chance because he's not going to be a regular pro after this. First shot.
Just didn't come up, leaving a 2-4 wobbly 5 for Gil Sliker.
Gil Sliker, one of the most likable players on the tour with that classic style, kind of a stutter step, 4.5 step delivery. Extends that push away right at the start, has that hand on the side of the ball, good knee bend, good extension through, leaves the 2, 4, and 5 pins in the opening frame.
Oh no, and the tournament leader with an open frame right at the very beginning.
Chris, he practiced that shot a half a dozen times before we went on the air. He knew it was going to hook on the left side right over there. There's no left-handers playing today, no oil carry down. I'm surprised that Gil got that such a bad break. Now, he has to really collect his thoughts. He is one of the really, truly great stylists who has just never been able to snap into that winner's circle. And he knows he can win. He has to just prove it. Now, he's dug himself an early ditch. Let's see him just lean back. Maybe it'll be good for him and just take control and go for it.
Just sliding by and leaving the 1, 2, and the 4. The man that in previous appearances in Fairlanes Open competition has earned $28,000, averaging about $2,000 a tournament. But today, he will get more, 23 to the winner, 12 to the runner-up. Now to Williams. First victory over Mike Taylor, 259, 246. Then over Brian Voss, 228 to 190.
Williams, experienced pro, knows that There's many things going through Gil Sliker's mind right now. Would like to nail him down right here in the early going.
The man with 16 strikes coming into this match after 2 wins. A reminder that from Chicago, Volvo Tennis Men's Finals, live except on the West Coast, and then the Checker 200 kart auto race. And that's at 4 Eastern, 3 Central, and Pacific. Great competition.
The Andrettis are the family to beat there. As you see the Santa Anita Derby. Tess, I'm going to give you a tip in the Derby. The only filly in there is Winning Colors. A Lucas horse is the largest horse in the race. She should be very tough. And then the Garland Globetrotters. And I was saying, watch out for the Andrettis in that 200 tomorrow. Now, Mark Williams to take a 21-pin lead if he can strike.
I got by leaving only the 4 on the left lane. Next week, we're in Atlantic City, Showboat, for the $500,000 Seagram's Coolers United States Open. $100,000 to the winner.
You look at the ball of Mark Williams, fingertip grip. He has that index finger wrapped with a little adhesive tape just as a reminder to stick on the ball and guide that ball with that finger. One of our old bowling tips as he makes the 2-pin.
All right, now Gil Sliker, whose wife Crystal, back in Florida, minding Cameron, who's about a year and a half of age. Leaving a 6-pin.
Gil Sliker, fans all over the country, was raised in the New Jersey area, and right now he is trying to win his first singles PBA title. He was scheduled, Chris, to be at a Big Brothers and Big Sisters benefit in Washington, New Jersey, just north of here this afternoon. I'm sure they'll forgive him because he has to try to win his first title. So he apologizes, kids, but right now he trails by 12 pins.
Okay, then on the tour 13, we asked him about his future plans.
I decided to retire this year mostly because of my family. I want to be home with my son Cameron, and Steve Wunderlich and I have had some conversations about opening up a bowling center in Florida, so that's what we're doing right now.
Well, we wish them luck. 2 good guys.
And he has spent a lot of time in Florida, the teaching pro at Galaxy Lanes, where we have a tournament, the Bowler's Journal Venice Open every year. Now, 4th frame. Yes.
Break the tournament leader needs in any competition. Gil Sliker, strike in the 4th.
Okay, listen up. Oakley Hill's filling in some balls tonight.
For 3 years, Bill Oakley took orders. But tonight, he's got to stand up and take charge.
You make America work.
Here's to you, the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood-aged Budweiser. For all the guys who know it's not what you say, but what you do.
If you like to drive, really like to drive, this is what your next car should be. This is the all-new Pontiac Grand Prix.
Get on the Pontiac and ride,
This is the 1988 Motor Trend Car of the Year. And that ought to be you driving it.
Get on the Pontiac. We build excitement.
All right. Here is Mark Williams, 3rd seeded in the Fairlanes Open in 1985. Mark Williams, who's won in Waukegan and Windsor Locks in Akron and in Columbus.
Calculated, veteran, everything under control. Has just bowled beautifully today. 2 very good friends going at it for the championship. I'm sure that they're just like boxers, Chris. They're out there for all they can get. 23,000 the winner, 12 to the runner-up. Gil Sliker, as you look at the executive officer of Fairlanes Corporation, Wally Hall, super guy, going for a lot of money. 12,000 second. Get up.
That's a double for Williams, putting his lead at 22 pins. Now Sliker, the tournament leader, can cut it to 12 because he has a strike in the fourth. Now shooting in the fifth frame.
Big shot for Gil Sliker. He's been struggling through 4 frames, but he has a strike up. Needs to make a double here, stay close in the match.
Nope. Leaving a 10 pin.
Gil just not giving it room on the right-hand lane. We've seen most of the players struggle there. The ball hooks quite a bit more. Gil's been high on this lane 2 times as he goes across lane for the 10 pin. Changes balls.
This could be a frustrating trip on the tour. 13 years, only a doubles title. Looking for that, but what a performance here in the Fairlanes Open, Nelson.
Just dominated the field. I mean, nobody ever doubts Gil Sliker's ability in the long run. He needs to work on his short bursts like a track man. He needs to be a 100-yard man, and he has to get it going right now. 6 frame, trails by 22. You got to lean on it, Gil. You forget all this finesse. There you go.
All right. And his career has earned $546,000, as you see the spot.
Good side rotation. Lets that top weight take over. The ball hits the 1-3, drives the 5 out. Nice shot for Gil Sliker. But here's the man of the hour so far. He has been unstoppable. Leads by 22, has 2 strikes going.
That great ability today, consistently string them. Had 7 in one of his games, and now he's got a 3-bagger, increasing his lead to 32.
Here's a man that was thinking of throwing in the towel a few years back. Then he caught red hot, won the Hartford Open, the Firestone Tournament of Champions, and now he's back on the tour as steady as ever. As you see the leaders by round, Milton the early leader, Dave Sutar, then Gil Sliker took over after 18 games and was never headed in match play. The closest anybody got was Scott Devers, got within 80 pins, and then Sliker turned it on. But right now, Sliker trails this man by 32 pins as Mark Williams waits for one of his 3 re-racks. 3 strikes up. Sliker cogitates the action. He needs something good to happen to him and something disastrous to happen to Williams. Let's see. 3 frames left.
There's that 9 pin.
Well, he took a re-rack, and I don't know what he didn't like, but actually he overpowered the pins there as Mark Williams has not missed the 1-3. Watch the action, the ball, 1-3. It's supposed to hit the 5 and deflect into the 9. The ball doesn't, hooks right past the 9 pin. Watch this, 1-3, boom. We see that every week, Chris. 20 years ago, if you told Don Carter he was going to see a solid 9, he says that can't happen. It happens every week now. The balls are too strong.
Now Sliker striking the 6th, trailing by 31, shooting in the 7th.
I said something unlucky for Williams. That just happened. Now something real good has to happen for Sliker. He has a strike up, needs a double.
Now trails by 21. Move to the left side. Mom and Dad, Alice and Roy Sliker, have come in from Washington, New Jersey. Pretty part of that Garden State.
And that's his home area where Gil was raised, and right now, as I said earlier, would be giving a benefit for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters charities. He's trying to benefit the Gil Sliker Treasury right now with a victory here. His first ever. Trails by 21 pins, has been pretty good on the left-hand lead. Once again, needs this strike, keep pressure on Williams.
28th time that we have had him on a telecast over the years. Oh, 5-7. Imagine the pain the mom and dad suffer when their son doesn't get what he wants.
Well, you always want to see the best for your children. It's not over yet, but Gil Sliker has to get the ball over here to the right of the 5-pin, slide it over into the 7. A shot that he can make by adjusting just 3 boards to the left on the approach and using his same strike target, same strike release. He'll slide that 5 over and stay in the match.
Gave it the big try. 142 through 8. Now with the spare up, Mark Williams, who has won 2 matches in convincing fashion, shoots in the 8th frame. Right heel is practically off the approach. That first game when he shot a 259 with 9 strikes, you just sensed that he was grooved and would be very, very tough today. Shot a 228 to defeat Brian Voss by 38. Voss having an open frame as the ball hit his ankle on the approach. But this guy has been consistent today.
Williams to lock it up right here.
So a 7-pin.
Williams, who has not missed the pocket since the 2nd frame, where he left a 2-8 spare on this left-hand lane. 2nd frame of his first match against Mike Taylor. He put every single ball in the pocket now, going almost 30 frames in a row. What a performance.
Mark Williams taking a rest, 3rd at the Showboat in Las Vegas this year and 4th at the King Louis.
Absolutely must strike for Gil Sliker. He must strike the next 3 balls or it's all over.
Trying to break that television jinx, 28th time before our ABC cameras, seeking that first title, and he looks now at another 5-7.
Same situation as he had in the 8th frame. Has to get the ball to the right of the 5-pin, slide it over in the 7. But right now, time is running short for Gil Sliker, who has just almost an impossible task in front of him. The best he can do, even if he converts the split, is 192. That's it. It's history now. Gil Sliker with opens in the 1st, 8th, and 9th frame. The best he can bowl is 180. Mark Williams already
he went
to 200s.
Wins his 5th title, this time in Towson, Maryland. Mark Williams of Beaumont, Texas. We'll be back with the final score and perhaps a chat. The Professional Bowlers Tour is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By True Value Hardware Stores. It's more than our name, it's our way of doing business. And by Armor All Protectant. It protects and beautifies every time you wash your car.
Decisions, decisions. A painting project is full of them. Formulas, finishes. This time make just one decision. To trust True Value Hardware Stores and their spatter-resistant True Test Easy Care paint. Flat enamel is scrubbable, yet leaves a rich flat finish. Kitchens and bathrooms need scrubbable semi-gloss. Or choose flat finish for velvety walls. And one special ingredient sets Easy Care paint apart. The unique personal service you'll find only at True Value Hardware Stores.
Why do they call it heartburn? When it's me, your stomach, that's hurting. When antacids don't stop the pain from coming back, it could be an ulcer. It's okay, because there are treatment programs to help heal ulcers. If you think you have an ulcer, go see your doctor and ask about the available treatment programs. Sponsored by SmithKline & French, the ulcer experts. You could make your stomach very happy.
There's some sort of problem.
Segram's peach.
Well, it's smooth, like your skin.
Wild berries.
Luscious, like your lips.
Come with me.
peace.
Kentucky Derby hopefuls saddle up at the Santa Anita Derby live. Plus the Harlem Globetrotters on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Next.
Final score, 229-180. Mark Williams. Mark, congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. I'd just like to thank Fairlanes for hosting another wonderful tournament. The pros really love it here. They go out of their way to do little things for us. Thanks to Mr. Hall and all his staff.
Wally Hall, thanks to you and Steve and everybody and your great staff. Okay, coming up next, ABC's Wide World of Sports presenting the Santa Anita Derby live, plus the hilarious Harlem Globetrotters. And tomorrow ABC Sports concludes with its Chicago Volvo tennis coverage with the men's final live. Then it's the Checker 200 kart auto race live. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports. Once again, the winner from Beaumont, Texas, 4th and 3rd previous, but on top today, $23,000, $229.